I got a little self-confidence, but I'm going to tell you someone who's even cooler than me. My girlfriend. She's back there with that camera. She is the coolest girl ever. And she's the best girlfriend ever. She is. Her name is Michelle. She is awesome. She is a really cool girl. She's helped me take my life to another level. Good relationships. I'm not going to get off subject. I'm going to jump back in, but good relationships are really important at this age. But she's a really, really cool girl, and my birthday was coming up in August, and I told her, you know, that I've never been outside of the country. I want to go to Mexico. I want to go to Mexico. I want to do something I've never done for my birthday. And she surprised me. She surprised me with this passport. I don't know how she got all my information. I don't know. I probably should ask her that. She surprised me with this passport, and my picture was already in it and everything. and she showed me this itinerary of this trip that we were going to be taking. Everything was all inclusive. I mean, once we stepped foot at that resort, we weren't paying for anything. And we got over there and stepped foot in that resort, doors were being opened for us. Yes, sir, no, sir. It was the best trip I've ever been on in my life. I'm a food lover. I love pastries, donuts. They had everything. I couldn't even pronounce half the stuff they had. I wouldn't even try to. Room service 24 hours. I was setting my alarm for 2 a.m. waking up just to order a cheeseburger. I mean, it was the best. I loved it. And we had this amazing trip. We had a party on the beach at nighttime. We had this party that was on fire. I mean, I don't drink or anything, but everything was top shelf, top-notch coffee. Everything was just awesome. I mean, it was really, really awesome. My girlfriend had an allergic reaction, and we had to go to a little Mexican corner store to get her some Benadryl, and I'm not going to tell you guys about that. It was crazy. Man. But the trip was amazing, and we flew back over, and you know, everything, all the eyes dried up, so I had to give her a hug when we got off the plane. And we went to sleep that night, and we woke up the next morning, and we were sitting at the table drinking coffee, and she asked me, she said, hey, how was the trip? Like, how was the trip? Did you really, really, really enjoy the trip? I said, flat out, it was the best trip of my life. But I told her, the most intriguing part about that trip, the most intriguing part about every trip that I've ever went on is the way I get there and the way I get back. All these speaking engagements I go and fly out on, but the most intriguing part is that big old thing with the wings that looks like a bird. That airplane, that is the most intriguing part about every trip I've ever been on. And it started with an idea. The Wright brothers in the late 1800s, the father brought them home toy helicopters, and they did the first thing they did when they got those toy helicopters is what I know I would have did at 10 years old. They mangled it, boom. But it's what they did after they mangled those helicopters. It's what they did after. They took to the garage and they went and built another one. And guess what they did with that? They mangled it too. But then they took to the garage and they began working on this airplane. And that was the beginning of their vision, of their idea. The next 10 or 15 years of their life would be trial and error. They were flying the plane and crashing it, but they did not quit. They did not falter. They saw failure as an opportunity to improve their project. And I tell you, on December 17th, 1903, they took out for a test run. And their vision came to life. That airplane flew and it landed without crashing. $1 trillion idea, young people. The seats that you're sitting in today, they started with an idea. The architecture of this amazing building, it started with an idea. This world, this country, this universe, it was all built on one good idea. So why sell yourself short and not acknowledge your ideas? Because if you don't begin to acknowledge your ideas, you're not going to grow. And if you don't grow, you're not going to recognize your purpose in life. And if you don't recognize your purpose in life, you're going to spend a lot of days unhappy. And how do I know this? Because I'm 35 years old. And I've spent a lot of days unhappy before I recognized what my purpose was. And one day you're going to be sitting back watching TV, eating bonbons and popcorn and chips, stuff in your face, drinking drinking juice and soda. You're going to be watching some rich people on TV. And you're going to do what I always do. You're going to yell out, hey, that's my idea. That's my idea. That's it. But you're eating potato chips. And you're young people. You're so creative. I don't think you guys understand. You're so creative. We produce ideas for a reason. Acknowledge them. Take advantage of them. I want you guys to begin to think about a dream. A particular dream or goal, something that you want to accomplish. And as you think about it, I want you to look at your watches, okay? Look at your watches. Look at your watches. If you got a clock, I want you to look at it. And I want you to keep quiet now. Now look at it, and I want you to begin to think about this dream, or this goal, or this specific thing that you want to accomplish. And I want you to watch the second hand. Just watch it tick away. If you have a second hand, watch the second hand tick. And every second that ticks away, you never get it back. While you're thinking about this dream, or this goal, or whatever it is that you want to accomplish, you're probably wondering, what is this dude talking about? My point being is that time doesn't stop for no one. Time doesn't stop for you. It doesn't stop for me. Throughout life, you're going to be presented with all these amazing opportunities, but there's always going to be a window. There's always going to be a window in which you can access that opportunity. And that window does not stay open forever. At some point, that window will close and that opportunity won't be accessible anymore. I was 2 years out of high school. My coach had just told me that I had a Division I shot that I missed out on. And I decided I'm going to get serious. I'm going to play some ball. I went out to Garden City Junior College. And I'll never forget the day that I got to Garden City Junior College. I don't know who this guy was. I didn't know who this guy was at the time. I don't even know how he knew I was coming a day early. But I was going to check in at the athletic director's office, and as I approached the building, there was a guy standing outside. He had a Kansas State hat on. He walked right up to me and said, "You're Dudley Thurmond." I said, "Yes, sir, I am. Who are you?" He told me who he was. I'm the defensive coordinator at Kansas State University. How would you like to come up and play some ball? Play some middle linebacker for us, get you a shot at the NFL. How does that sound? He wanted to get first dibs on me. I said, "Man, that sounds awesome. Let's go." But I want you to take a wild guess of what I did at Garden City. I acted a plum fool. I partied. I did all the things that I knew I shouldn't have been doing if I was trying to take advantage of a good opportunity. I mean, I went home for the summer. Didn't go back for the fall season. Started running the streets. And I wish I knew that not taking advantage of that opportunity was going to come back and bite me in the butt one day. Because it did, big time. I could have been prepping for this weekend's playoff game. I could have been getting ready to play tomorrow. Getting ready to retire after the season. But a year after I missed out on that Garden City opportunity, I got another opportunity. And this time I told myself, yep, it's time to get serious. It's time to get serious about this thing. So I took my football tapes and I clipped them up. I made some highlight films and I started sending them out to colleges. At this time, Division II was my only option because my clock had started rolling. And in order for me to get all my eligibility, I had to go to a Division II school. So I got a phone call right away. I mean, I was skilled. I could play this game. Right away, I got a phone call. And they wanted me to come up and play in the fall, but only under one circumstance. I had to go to summer school. So in order to be eligible and come up and start the fall season and be ready to go, I was going to have to go to summer school and get at least a B average.